Good morning. Um, Here we are Tuesday. I'm recycling the format from Monday, um, so I didn't have to start a new feed. So here we are, a day later, which is fine. Uh, so hopefully you had a good weekend and a good day yesterday. Um, Getting towards the end of April, right? Weather is still kind of chilly, but not too bad. Um, I've got some. I'm actually going to do some gardening maybe today. I don't know. I had to get a new tool. Um, you know how you have this idea that you're going to do something, and then um, you sort of like you plan. Everything kind of hinges around this one thing, right? And uh, it was this tool that someone had given me, and I was like, wow, this is really going to be the solution to my weed problem in the garden. Um, but I hadn't really used it, and I wasn't actually sure where it was at this point, right? Because I put it somewhere, and which sounds ridiculous, but we have a lot of places to put tools. So I've got a side porch, we have a garage in the back of the house, and then there's a shed. So things could be anywhere, right? Because I put them places, but then they get moved, right? Because my brother shares the garage with us, and my husband, of course, is in there. Kids pretty much leave that stuff alone because they know getting if you touch that stuff, you're probably going to be asked to do something, so they stay away. Um, so yeah, I wasn't really sure where it was, and then I did locate it, so that was good. But then over the weekend, I was like, well, I'm going to give this tool a try, right? Um, and this is just weird, People do this to me. So I was out weeding one summer day, and um, an acquaintance, not really a friend, but someone that I know from town, was driving by and just gave me this tool and said, "Here, this will make it easier for you." And I didn't use it at the time because I was almost done. So I tried it, and it was quite vintage, and it really did a good job, but the the part came off the the handle, like almost, I got partially through one plot, but I could see that it was gonna work. It was a good thing. So um, then I had to figure out what it was, right? Because it was a pretty vintage looking item, and I found that that is an issue with a lot of things, is that there are different names for things, and if you don't know what that name is, you're never going to find it, right? I didn't know if it was just like a standard thing that I'd find in the store, or if I was going to have to order it. A lot of times, with specialty tools and things, you do end up having to order stuff. Um, so I found out it's what they call a cultivator, and Lowe's had them, right? So that was great. So I went over to get one, um, and they were out. Even though they said they had 12 of them on the website, mysteriously they did not have any. So I did find a different one, but similar, and got that. So I'm all set to de-weed my garden plots. But that is a thing that I do, and maybe you do as well, where you kind of have everything hinging on one thing, right? So having this tool seemed to be, the linchpin of my entire process. And because I didn't have it, because I couldn't find it, and it broke and all that, um, it was the reason I couldn't get things done, right? And which of course is ridiculous, right? We build these things in our head. We build these um, scenarios, right? Um, but I've found the best way to get through those scenarios is to eliminate those um, distractions, those diversions, right? We throw up roadblocks to actually getting the thing we want to get accomplished done. Um, so we can we can know this, right? And we can know that we have a tendency to do this, and I know this about myself. Um, but it doesn't stop me from doing it, right? The only thing I've found that works is to eliminate those blocks, right? So job one, it was to stop thinking about the tool and to just go buy the tool. Then my my roadblock is gone, right? I have nothing to hide behind. I have to get to work because I've solved my problem, right? So if you feel like this, that you do this, that you sort of create um, obstacles or conditions that have to be just right for you to get whatever it is that you want to get done, or you know, whatever it is you're trying to move forward with in your life, just go after them one by one and solve them. Um, it's okay to tell yourself that you're making it's just you're just making it up, but in truth you won't believe that. I mean, deep down you're still going to have that feeling, right? um, Solve the problem, right? Take it step by step, and then you will be left with nothing, right? No obstacles, just moving forward. um, a lot of times what we try to do with yoga is we are trying to understand our what pulls us away from um, perfection, right? And by perfection I mean um, this idea of being content, being perfectly at ease, um, and all each of our minds work um, differently, but similarly, right? So you may have different triggers, different things that set you off, but we all have things that set us off, right? Um, we have different experiences and different, um, different ways that we've been brought up and things that we've seen and done, which have formed us, into different people. But we all have the same basic, structure, right? We are, things get us down or things lift us up. We are affected by our outer world differently, but we are all affected that way. So knowing this, we can figure out some strategies, right, to deal with it, to um, get ourselves through. Um, because that really is the essence, right? Yoga. We're trying to come back to the truth, right, which is this oneness. But we're also trying to figure out how to navigate, right, our life, um, and get through to the truth of everything, the truth of our life, the truth of everything we're trying to do, right? Not avoiding, not sidestepping, not pretending it's not happening, not turning our back or, you know, looking away, um, experiencing what is really happening and moving through it. Right? So it may be a beautiful, wonderful thing that we're experiencing, right? And we want to be really aware of that, these really momentous events in our life. that I think frequently we don't even notice is happening, right? Um, our lives are just a series of events strung together. Um, and I think we don't often see the importance of what's happening when it's happening. Um, so we want to try to be present, right? Good morning, Dora. Um, try to, we don't have to understand the importance of what's happening now, but we need to understand it is important, right? Not everything. Some things are just routine, nothing. But if we aren't paying attention, we'll never know the difference. So that's why we want to be present. We want to really experience what's happening in our life, which means the good things, but also the bad things, right? The bad things are going to maybe be just as important as the good things. Um, they teach us things. Oh, hi, Susan. Yeah, I know. Sometimes, I have trouble with my laptop. In fact, I'm not even sure. I don't think it's in the right place now. I had to remove it and move it. Um, it happens. Sometimes this has trouble loading, and I don't really know why. I think it's older. Um, but, you make do with what you have. Um, so be aware of your life. Be aware of the moments that are passing. Um, good and bad, they all make us who we are. Um, and we need to know, right, that everything passes, the good and the bad. Um, we're moving through. Um, and we do this a step at a time. I think a lot of times we see too big. We look at a big picture. Um, we look at the scope of the project we're working on, or um, I was thinking about the whole pandemic thing, right? If if a year ago someone said, "Hey, just stay in your house for the next year," what would you have said? You would have said, you would have panicked. You would have said, "I can't do that. It's ridiculous. How can I do that? I can't change my life. I can't do everything differently. I can't." Uh-uh. No. But here we are a year later, and pretty much done that. So it's amazing what we can achieve, what we can do, um, if we just keep going, right? We don't think about how long things might take. Um, a lot of people talk to me about yoga, with that. How long is it going to take me to do this? How long till I can touch my toes? Or um, how long till, my mind starts wandering in meditation or something like that? I mean, I don't want to tell you. It could be a really long time, maybe your whole life. I don't know. Um, yoga isn't something we do for 5 minutes or a month or whatever, and then we're done. We never have to do it again. Um, there's no end. There's no completion. Um, it is just a living part of our lives, like everything else. Um, I think we get better at it as we keep going. I hope we do. That's the whole idea, though, of everything in our life, right? We're getting better. We are learning, I hope, right? That's what we're here to do. We're here to learn how to deal with these things, how to deal with the people in your life, how to deal with the situations in your life, how to, right? I've heard this of yoga is described as dealing with the consequences of being you, um, understanding who you are, what uh, what your problem is, right? And a problem, I mean, in quotes, problem. It's not really a problem, but we all have our own situations. We all have our unique um, personality, right? Our unique set of family and friends and our life, our job, all of these things that we have structured our life around make our situation unique. Um, and everything needs to be dealt with in its own way. Um, so we get, hopefully, to be an expert at that, um, because it's our life, right? We want to know how to manage it. We want to know how to get what we want done, to coexist peacefully with the people around us, and to be happy, right? To enjoy the time that we have here on earth. It sounds like a lot, right? It sounds like a lot to ask, but it's not. It is the least we can ask. Um, we can do all of these things, right? It is completely within our power to do these things. Um, and we must do these things, right? It is our responsibility to do these things, no one else's. If you look to other people as your source of happiness, as your source of contentment and satisfaction and status and all of the things that we want in our life, you're going to be disappointed. Um, and not because people are bad or because anything else. There's no value to that. There's no judgment. It's simply the truth. You are the architect of your own existence. Um, if you aren't happy with your life, you have to change it. You can't blame other people. You can't point the finger and say, well, if you would just do this, I would be fine. That's not true at all. Um, and you may notice this, right? That you constantly get yourself into these positions where you feel like your power has been taken away. You feel like other people are able to make decisions that affect you. Um, and if that's true, that's because you're making the same decisions over and over again, right? You're allowing people to have that power over you. And don't get me wrong, there are times in your life where maybe you've made that choice. Um, Having children is a good example of that, right? I always use my kids as an example, but it's true, right? When you have children, you enter into an agreement whereby you will, care for these humans. You are going to raise them, take care of them, feed them. They have a huge power over you. Your responsibility is your power. But you could give them away. You could send them somewhere else if you don't want to take care of them. I mean, there are options, right? I mean, they may not be options you want. And that's the truth of it, is that sometimes in order to uh, do what you want, you have to make some very hard decisions, right? If you're not happy in your marriage, maybe you have to leave. If you're not happy in your relationships, maybe you need to stop seeing those people. If you don't like your job, maybe you need a new one. I mean, all of these things are huge. They may be huge disruptions in your life. And that may be what it takes, right? Nobody said it would be easy to make yourself happy. It's a lot of work and it's hard. Um, and it can't, sometimes you just can't do it, right? You just can't do that work right now for whatever reason. Maybe you don't have the strength, you don't have the resources, you don't have whatever. But again, it's up to you. Then you are making the choice to stay where you are. Um, and if that's your choice, then you have to be happy with that choice, right? I think about when I was caring for my dad when he was older and quite ill, and he needed, a lot of support and taking to the doctors and making sure his medication was, he was taking it, stuff like that. Um, there were options. If I didn't want to do that, I could have gotten someone else to do it. I could have, put him in a home. I mean, there's a lot of options out there, but the one I chose was a burden, right? It made me feel like I was uh, trapped. Um, But when you feel that way, you have to remember you chose that. I chose that. That's what I wanted to do. Um, and in retrospect, I'm glad I did. But it was hard. That's not to say it's going to be easy. It was very hard. Um, but I tried to remember that it was my choice to be there. And we don't always choose the easy path. That's the other truth, right, about our life, is that the easy route is not always the right route. In fact, I hate to say it, but the easy route is almost never the right route. We are not built to take the easy path, right? We are built to struggle, to work, and to learn. Um, Everything in life that's easy is not good. I mean, that's the truth of it. If we're constantly looking for the easy way out, we're going to miss um, something. It's like, you know, the beautiful, the beautiful vista is, up the hard route, not down in the parking lot. You got to climb the mountain to get up there and see what's beautiful. So if you're struggling, that's not always a bad thing. Maybe you are just around the corner from a beautiful vista. Um, Only you'll know that. You need to decide, right? Where are you? What are you doing? Where are you going? Um, and when we are working on our meditation, different things like that, that's where we get those insights. That's where we get um, those feelings, right? We're either on the right path or we're not. And if we're not, we're going to keep getting the feeling that we're not. Right? If you have this suspicion that you're not on the right path, just sit with that. Do some meditation. See how strong that feeling gets. Um, if you're consistently getting that feeling, you might want to make some changes. Move into doing something different. I can't tell you what that will be. Nobody can. But I can tell you that it isn't as a lot of people worry about it. They think they'll make the wrong choice, and maybe you will. Um, but it's never a permanent choice. You can always change. And if you're on the wrong path, you're going to keep getting those reminders like, hey, what are you doing? It's like the GPS, in the GPS and you turn in the wrong way and it says recalculating, and then they keep telling you again and again. It's kind of like that, right? You've got this internal GPS um, that is going to give you some hints along the way if you're paying attention, right? But if you're busy thinking about other things, thinking about, all this other junk rattling around your head, you're not trying to stay present, you may miss a lot of this. Again, it's not the end of the world because you're going to get more. Um, the universe never gives up, right? That's one of the great things, is that no matter how bad you may feel like you've messed up in your life, or how many mistakes you've made, or how low you may feel, the universe loves you and is going to be there for you. It's going to extend a hand. There's always more. There's always a new chance, a new day, um, a new opportunity. Um, you just have to not give up on yourself and just be there. Just show up every day. See what you can do. Okay. That's a lot, right? Isn't that a lot? That's a lot to take in. Some days are like that. Some days are heavy, like heavy messages. Um, you know, but sometimes we have to hear that. It's easy to forget. We stop thinking about these things, and um, you know, when we lose that connection, we lose a real part of what makes our life alive, right? What makes us have that reason to get up in the morning. And, we need that. We all need that. All right, so asana. We'll move around. My knee is giving me trouble lately. I think I was doing gardening and did something. Although this one's been giving me trouble for a couple of months. I don't know exactly what's up with it, but it's not bad. It's just there, Take a breath and then chin down toward the chest. Breathe. And then lift the head, lift the chin. Head back to center, take a breath, and then we're lowering. Head to the right. Back up, and then left. And back up. Let's bring soles of the feet together. I'm going to bring my feet out a little bit today. It feels better to me. Take a deep breath and fold forward. So there's no reason to keep doing things exactly the same. If today you feel like it'd be better to extend the feet out a little bit, you can. Every day is different. Every set of circumstances is different. Come on back up. And then legs out in front. Let's point and flex the feet. And then rotating through the ankles. One way, the other. Lift the arms, and then we're folding forward. Come on back up. We're going to bring this left leg in front. If you're doing the other leg, it's fine. It doesn't matter. Whichever leg you want to have, it's in front like this, and the other is bending the knee. The foot is facing behind you. So you're sitting up here. And if this is hard on your knee, right, you could just extend the leg also. See how it feels. Right? And then we're going to I have this left leg, so I'm bringing the left hand down, right hand on the knee, and turn, but it'll be the opposite if you turn the opposite way, right? The main thing is we're turning away from the way the feet are. And you'll be able to tell. If you do this the opposite way, you'll probably feel like you're going to tip over. So back to center and switch it around. Take a breath and twist. And then back to center. Spin the legs out in front again. Deep breath, fold forward. Come back up, tabletop. And we're going to sit back on the heels. Child's pose. Moving back up. Tabletop. We're going to extend the right leg back. Just press that heel away. And then switch. Back to tabletop, then downward dog. Then we're going to come forward to high plank and then back to downward dog. So the inhale is coming forward and the exhale is moving back. Inhale, forward to high plank, and then moving back on the exhale. So you can do it all in one breath, or you could take an extra breath in between. Do it 3 times. And then forward again. We're going to drop the knees and lower all the way down. Head turns right, arms by your side. See if you can rest that left ear on the mat. If you're having trouble having the head reach the mat, try pushing forward a little bit with the toes. Bring the head to center. Hands stay by the side. We're going to flip the palms. And then we're lifting up. Head and chest, arms and legs. Lower down. Head turns left. Head back to center. Let's bring the hands in front. So we're resting on the elbows. They're close to the body. Forearms resting on the mat. We're going to press down with the hands, pulling back with the shoulders. Set that gaze forward. And lower down. Hands in front. You can just rest the chin or the forehead on the hands. Take a few breaths. Then we're coming back up. You can go tabletop to downward dog, or if you want to do upward dog to downward dog, you can. And breathe. And then walk your feet up. Come down to a seat. Let's bring soles of the feet together again. Deep breath. Fold forward. Back up, both legs out in front. Deep breath, fold forward. Coming back up, left hand to the right knee, right arm behind, sit tall. Take a breath and twist. Back to center, switch sides, and twist. And then we're back to center. Bend the knees. Lowering down. Finding a comfortable place on your back. Right ankle on left knee. And then we're going to bring that left leg in maybe, or you might just keep that foot on the ground, press the right knee away if your hips are feeling tight today. And then set the feet back down, switching sides. We're always working to the side that needs more attention. So if you have a very tight hip, you want to keep that foot on the floor. And even if one side seems looser, keep working on that tighter side. We're trying to bring things closer into balance. Then setting both feet down. We're going to do supported bridge. So heels are back, close to the body, hands by your side. Press down, lifting up. Find a place for the block. If you want to do regular bridge here instead, you certainly can. Breathe. Lifting up, remove the block. Bring soles of the feet together for a few breaths. And then knees back to center. We'll hug them in. Rock a little side to side. And then arms to a T or goalpost arms. Take a deep breath, and then we're lowering the knees to the right, gaze to the left. Back to center, knees left, gaze right. And then back to center. Extend the legs, arms by your side. And then we're lowering down. Both legs together or one leg at a time, your choice. And then find a place where you feel comfortable on the mat. And moving into the Shavasana. Body is nice and relaxed on the mat. Steady with the breath. Letting everything go here. Making a change in your life can feel pretty scary. We cling to the things that we know out of fear, out of habit, and out of this mistaken belief that we are our choices, we are our jobs, or our families, or our friends, or our hobbies, or our interests. Those are all wonderful things that enrich our life, hopefully, right? Hopefully we've chosen the ones that enrich our life. But they are not who we are. Who we are will never change. We are spirit, eternal. There's nothing that will change that. You can change everything in your physical life, and you will still be that perfect divine spark. It's a huge responsibility in some ways, but it's also a real weight off our shoulders to know that we'll never ruin that. We'll never change that. Um, it can be our focus. The other things are lovely, but they change. They will change. We can change them anytime we want. It doesn't change who we are. It doesn't change what is essential and what is truth. So if you make a choice and you don't like it, just make another one. Keep going till you find what works for you. So moving a little, coming back to our sort of day-to-day place. And then making your way up to a seat if you like. We'll bring hands together. Deep breath in and out. Thank you for taking some time this morning for yoga and for your practice. I hope that you have a wonderful Tuesday. Namaste. Okay. Yeah, for a minute there, I wasn't sure it was Tuesday. I don't know. Who knows, really? Okay. Meditation. Let's do it. So, sitting up tall, relaxed with the breath, keeping that soft focus. Breathe. Okay, we're back. Breath in, breath out. All right, so enjoy your Tuesday. See what you can do today to eliminate some of the obstacles that are in your path. And I will be back tomorrow.